to be not involved. You chose to not engage. And what happens is you through that create your own bubble. Now you're living literally in a bubble as a community. You're not dealing with the real issues of America. You're not addressing them. Your community is not aware of them. They're not prepared for it. You know, in every community, you got people prepared for it. But for the most part, that's what I'm talking about. The average person is not prepared for it. Okay? And, you know, and that's the consequence of not being engaging of the conflicts in the issues in your community. You know, eventually it's going to overtake you. Eventually, that's just common sense. If you got wars all around the country, and you're in the Mexican community, and you're just minding your business, staying away from the black neighborhoods, staying away from the white neighborhoods. I'm just saying how I feel it. You're staying away from all of that, and you think that's the way. Unfortunately, it's not the way, man. You have, in order for you to protect your family, you have to be involved in these issues and wars, short distance and long distance. You have to be. You can't sit up and be like, well, I'm just going to stay out of it. It won't work. You'll find that Armageddon is at your doorstep. That's what's going to happen. It doesn't discriminate. In fact, you'll be the one caught off guard the most. You'll be the victim the most because you are out of touch with everything that's going on. So everybody else in a whole different mode, and you like, oh God, what are they doing? What is going on? You don't want it to be like that. You don't want it to be like that. So you have to keep your ears to the streets, per se. You have to know what's going on, not what people telling you what's going on. You have to know really what's going on. And you have to adjust accordingly. You have to adjust accordingly and prepare accordingly. You know, otherwise you'll be sitting up talking about, well, I ain't involved with it. And then here it is at your doorstep, and what you gonna do? That's what you gotta look at. If chaos, hysteria, a state of hysteria come to America, and total chaos comes, right? You can't sit in your apartment. If total chaos breaks out here in New York City where I'm at, how am I going to just sit in my apartment? Eventually, someone's going to raid this apartment. Eventually. It might not happen the first month, the second month, but months down the line, eventually, the whole thing is going to be raided. You have to be mobile. That's why fitness is so important. It's going to be so sad for a lot of people that are not physically fit. It's going to be sad because people in wheelchairs going to be getting killed and raped and all kind of stuff. People that is disabled just going to be raped and everything. Retarded girls raped. Because how they going to get away? And so you'll have some people that will try to help them, but then how many people can you carry on your back? I mean, let's be 100. How many people can you carry on your back? See, I'm prepared for everything. You ain't even thought about all of this. You have not, right? And so when things like this happen, it's gonna be so many people that's just gonna be dying in the beginning. It's just dying, man. Everything you can imagine. Dying, stabbed, shot, killed, raped. Children, the same thing. You know, and you know, that's why a lot of you also need to start, from every race, need to start reconsidering if you should have a family right now. You need to wait till after this election that's coming up in 2024. Oh, you need to start thinking about, you need to wait till mid 2025 before you start thinking about having any more kids. That's just my personal opinion. Wait to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Just wait to see what happens, man. You know, before you start just having babies. Because God holds us responsible for knowing what world we live in. You can't have kids all the time. That's a part of the evil world that we're coming to. You can't just be, that's cruel. It becomes a form of cruelty and selfishness when you can see COVID-19, monkeypox, all this other crazy stuff, mass shootings and stuff, and you sitting up busting nuts in a woman having kids. It becomes a form of selfishness and cruelty to bring a child into a world like this. That's what times we coming to. It becoming so evil, you have to reevaluate whether you should have kids anymore. That's real. So think about what I said. I'm gonna continue to do part 2s and part 3s on this about, thugs and gangsters and them being utilized properly.